Hi everyone, welcome back to the Geordie View. So Newcastle United are away at West Brom on Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock kick-off down at the Hawthorns, and it is live on Amazon Prime. Looking at the last games for both sides, we got held to a 1-1 draw by Wolves. Had a good first half, then took the lead through Jamal Lascelles, but then we just bottled it. The ball comes in, Jamal Lewis should have done better there. And Isaac Hayden needs to head that away. A lot of people blame Dubravka, but for me, I read it's more defensive fault for that goal. Hayden is ball watching. West Brom and got beat to 1-0 off Everton on Thursday night. They played alright. They had some chances, but they didn't really take them. Young had a goal disallowed for offside. He's just about offside. But they probably should have had a penalty. Holgate brought down one of the players. I can't remember who. But West Brom didn't take the chances, and they got punished by Richarlison getting the only goal of the game. So really, I feel like if they lose this game, or even the draw, they're probably relegated for me. I mean, if anything, Sheffield United could overtake them this weekend. I mean, who'd have thought you'd have said that when Sheffield United were just losing week in, week out. Now, there has been a bit of a bust-up between Matt Ritchie and Steve Bruce. It looked like Matt Ritchie called Bruce a coward for something on the training ground. And, that's gone public. But, thankfully, Matt Ritchie has apologised for it, but we don't need that kind of stuff. But I'm just glad the line has been drawn under it. And also, Friday morning, the club have put out another statement regarding the proposed takeover. Apparently, we've now lost out on having the chairman of the arbitration being removed, plus the full case being made public. There will probably some bits about the court case being made public, but not all of it, unfortunately. And we are still fighting for it, though, despite the setbacks. It is good that the club have updated on this. And also, they've mentioned the investment they could bring to the North East if it was to be passed through court. Sunderland have had a takeover. That will help the North East. Hopefully, we can have it as well. But I think right now, we need to focus on getting behind the team and trying to stay in the Premier League, because that's our best chance, really, in my opinion. I mean, if Mike Ashley's been able to, because Mike Ashley won't want to win the Championship. Well, he won't get the money he wants in the Championship. Yes, the EFL test will be easier, but then you've also got to think, well, if it's going to be somebody who's not fit and proper, do you really want them? Anyway, we'll look into the main preview. Looking at the Premier League table, Southampton, I've included them in this one because we could really catch them given their form. I think we're now 4 points off them, so best case scenario, we could be 1 point behind them. And if Fulham and ourselves keep winning games, I can't see Southampton going down, but Fulham would have gone on a mad run, ourselves would have gone on a mad run, other clubs, then Southampton are right back in it. But like I said, I can't see them going down. Brighton, we're level on points with them. If we better the result, we will go above them. Burnley, Fulham and West Brom have all played a game extra than themselves after playing this week. Burnley getting a good draw against Leicester, but they're not out the woods. And I've also included West Brom, Sheffield United. West Brom, really, if they lose this game, it's probably all over for them. 12 points. You can't see them coming back from it. And if anything, Sheffield United, you're looking at the goal difference, because Sheffield United haven't really been hammered in many games compared to West Brom getting hammered at home so much. Then, Sheffield United could actually finish above West Brom in the Premier League this season. Mad to think that, given how the start Sheffield United made. Now, looking at the team news, there's not really any doubts for West Brom I mean, Kieran Gibbs might be out this game, from what I've heard. But for Newcastle, we've still got Wilson, Shea, Manquillo out. Unfortunately, ESM and Almiron are also both out. Hopefully Manquillo will be back against Villa next weekend. And Wilson, there's been reports he will be back against Brighton. The lad has at least been working ever so hard to get back to fitness. Emil Kraft is 50-50 because he went off last weekend. Federico Fernandez could be back, but I wouldn't be starting him. Isaac Hayden is also doubt, but I do think he will start. Now, the players I've picked out from West Brom to watch out for. First off, I picked Conor Gallagher, who they've got in on loan from Chelsea. And he has been pretty good for them. From what I remember, he did have a good game when he came at St James's Park when we beat them 2-1. Also, Mateus Pereira, who's probably been their main best player so far this season for them. And also Diang, who they've got in on loan from Galatasaray, had the goal disallowed against Everton. Was unlucky, but we've got to watch out for him, as well as, Pereira and Gallagher. Looking at their strengths and weaknesses, whoscore.com doesn't really give them much strengths. But as for the weaknesses, finishing chances, avoiding offsides, defending set pieces. So Kieran Clark, Jamal Lascelles, I fancy more of them to get a goal in this game. Avoiding fouls in dangerous areas, which can only help when we've got set pieces. When they're bad at defending set pieces. Protecting the lead. I mean, they went 1-0 up against Crystal Palace and they still lost the game 5-1, I believe. Keeping possession of the ball. Defending against skillful players. Unfortunately, this is where we could really have done with ASM, but hopefully Ryan Fraser will be the one to step up. Attacking down the wings. Weaknesses defending from attacks from out wide. And then long shots. So John Joe Shelby could be a good idea for him to have these long shots, similar with players like Joe Willock, Isaac Hayden maybe. In terms of the style, they do play long balls, which is probably typical of a Sam Allardyce team. They attempt crosses often. They have long shots, like to attack down the right hand side. So Jamal Lewis could have a job on his hands. I mean, he was at fault really for the goal they scored at St James's Park earlier in the season. Like to play with width, and but they do play a lot in their own half. Now I'm going to get on to my predicted 11. Well, the 11 that I'd want for the game. I'm still going to go 4-2-3-1. I'll explain why in a bit. But starting off in goal, it's Martin Dubravka. I mean, he's just come back in. You can't really drop him, especially with that save he's made. At right back, I'm going to go with Jacob Murphy. I don't think I think he did well against Wolves. Set up Drillington, a chance he probably should have scored, but it was good defending from Saiss. Plus Kraft, it might not be fully fit, so I'd stick with Jacob Murphy. I'd go with Jacob Murphy at right back. The centre backs, Jamal Lascelles, much better game from him against Wolves with the goal and just in general. Alongside him, Kieran Clark. Well, Fernandez isn't. I don't want to rush back Fernandez, and Clark obviously deserves to keep his place. Those two could be really useful from set pieces. Looking at West Brom's weaknesses. At left back, I'm going to go with Paul Dummett. Jamal Lewis, obviously I wouldn't get rid of him in the summer. He needs time to, he is still young. But I do feel that Paul Dummett should be coming into the side. At the end of the day, it's not really going to help us if Jamal Lewis isn't performing and still keeps his place. But maybe if we're struggling for pace down the left-hand side, we could bring on Jamal Lewis. But for this game, I'm going to go with Paul Dummett. two centre midfielders. I'm going to go with Isaac Hayden if he's fully fit, which I'm confident he will be. Yes, he was at fault, but we still need his mid for the Neves goal, but we still need his presence. If he's not fully fit, then I'm going to go with Matty Longstaff more, because he's more, I'd say, of a defensive midfielder than Sean Longstaff and Jeff Hendrick. But alongside Hayden, I'm going to go with John Joe Shelby. Much better game against Wolves. I think he can shine again in this game. On the right hand side, I'm going to go with Matt Ritchie. I'm hoping he's more ready to go after that bust up with Steve Bruce. I think this is the time of the season usually when he does come good. We need to be seeing more of him. If we're not, then I could see him maybe leaving in the summer, which I wouldn't really miss him, to be honest. If we're stayed up, his legs are going, but I would start him on the right hand side in place of Saint-Maximin. Number 10 role. In the absence of Almiron, I'm going to push Joe Willock further forward. I think, he is more of a number 10 for me than as central defensive midfielder. I think he could do a job at number 10. On the left hand side, I'm going to go with Ryan Fraser. I think more to help pull Dummett out, because Dummett's not really the quickest. I think having Fraser there to help him, to help us on the left hand side, could work, and he deserves a start. He's got to start with these injuries and that assist against Wolves for Jamal Lascelles. And up top, I'm going to go with Dwight Gale. I think Andy Carroll would be, West Brom could deal with him, but I think Dwight Gale, he got the goal against them, and I feel like, he deserves to start this game. We're probably going to need pace against West Brom, and Dwight Gale would be ideal in this game. Also, I would like to see Elliot Anderson on the bench, or even Tom Allan. I don't want Steve Bruce to think about putting Christian Atsu back in. I don't want to think about starting Jeff Hendrick. For me, Tom Allan, Elliot Anderson, they don't have to be registered in the squad. Potentially play them. I don't think either of them actually played for the under-23s. Actually, I say that Atsu played for them, so he's not going to be. So you can't see him being in the squad. But I'm hoping maybe it's one of those two, especially if it's Anderson, does get on the bench for this game. What's my score? In terms of my score prediction, I'm going to say 2-1 win for Newcastle United. And before I end this video, I want to pay tribute to Glenn Roeder, former Newcastle manager and player, who sadly passed away through a brain tumour last Sunday. And he got us into Europe in the 2005-06 season when we were in the relegation battle under Graham Souness, and then unfortunately didn't really work out the following season in terms of domestically. But rest in peace to Glenn Roeder, and my thoughts are with his family at this very difficult time. So thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, check out my links in my social media pages in the description below. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you later.